In this section, the key concept that you need to know is the slope-intercept form of a linear equation. The slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where the m, located right here, is called the slope, and the y-intercept, which is shown as b in this equation, is your y-intercept. So the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and the b is your y-intercept. Let's take a look at problem 1, identifying slope and y-intercept. If you're looking at the equation y equals 5x minus 2, and thinking back to the slope-intercept form, where y equals mx plus b, the slope is m, y-intercept is b. The 5 is your slope, and the negative 2 is your y-intercept. So in the equation y equals 5x minus 2, you need to know that the slope is 5. It's the number next to the x. And the number by itself over here is negative 2. Notice that there's a minus sign with the 2, which makes that a negative 2 y-intercept, as it is shown down here on the bottom, where negative 2 is in parentheses, telling you it is the y-intercept. So the slope is 5, the y-intercept is negative 2. Go ahead and answer, got it, 1A and B. Let's take a look at problem 2, writing an equation in slope-intercept form. If I'm giving the slope of negative 4 over 5 and the y-intercept of 7, I need to change it into this equation right here. Y equals negative 4 over 5x plus 7. How did I get that answer? It's because of the slope-intercept form telling you that m is my slope, which is negative 4 over 5. B is my y-intercept, which is 7. So my equation is y equals negative 4 over 5x plus 7. Or y equals negative 4/5 x plus 7. Go ahead and do got it number 2. Let's take a look at problem 3, writing an equation from a graph. Looking at this graph on the side here, you can tell that this red line goes through the y-intercept at negative 2. So your y-intercept is negative 2. You can also find out what the slope is of this line by finding out where it crosses the points on your graph. You can tell it crosses here at negative 2 and also up here at 1. So the slope of this graph is starting at point negative 2. You're going to go up 1, 2, over 1. So your slope is 2 over 1, which when you reduce that, it's 2. So from the graph, your slope is 2, which you come down here and write 2 next to the x. And your y-intercept, here's your y-axis, follow it down. That line crosses the y-intercept at negative 2. So your y-intercept is negative 2. Correct answer would be D. The information to the left of the graph shows you how you can do it by substituting your slope after you're doing the slope formula, or as we do it, the Leiden L, finding out that your slope is 2, and then you substitute it into the equation. Let's take a look at got it 3, A, B, and C, and see what we come up with. Go ahead and do this in your notebook, and we'll compare our answers. Problem 4 discusses writing an equation from 2 points. When you're given the point 2, 1 and 5, negative 8, you need to take that information and put it into the slope-intercept form. By looking at these 2 steps, you can see that they found the slope, subtracting the x's and the y's, or as we do it, delighted L, and got negative 3 for their slope. They then took the negative 3 and substituted it in for negative 3 in the formula for the slope-intercept. This 2 was substituted because, as you look at the right, it says use slope-intercept form, substitute negative 3 for m, 2 for x, and 1 for y. So using this point up here, they took the 2, which is your x, and put it in for the x down here for the 2. This 1 came from the 1 that is up in this point. So after you substitute the x and the y into this equation, you go ahead and solve and find out that b equals 7. So now you have your y-intercept and you have your slope. So your final equation would be y equals negative 3x plus 7, where the negative 3 came from your slope from above in step 1 and your y-intercept from step 2. Go ahead and try got it number 4 and see what you come up with using the points 3, negative 2, and 1, negative 3. Let's take a look at problem number 5, graphing a linear equation. When you're given the equation y equals 2x minus 1, you need to plot that on your graph. Always start plotting with the y-intercept, which is right here, negative 1. So I plot negative 1 down here on my graph on the y-intercept. Y-intercept negative 1, I go to the y-axis and I move down. My slope is 2x, or actually my slope is 2. It's next to the x. So it's 2 over 1. So I have to go up 2 over 1. And I plot my point. And then I connect it with a line. So the equation y equals 2x minus 1 is graphed by doing the y-intercept first on your graph, and then find your slope and move up 2 over 1. Go ahead and try got it 5, A, and B.